Hi everyone, welcome to week 3 of the class. The topics for this week are light and telescopes, and I just happen to have an awesome telescope behind me. We are up at Stellafane in Springfield, Vermont, which is the birthplace of amateur telescope making in the United States. And the wonderful Springfield telescope makers, of which I am a proud member, are a group of people who not only love astronomy, but love to observe the night sky and love to build their own instruments. And this is just one of the telescopes that the club has made over the years. This is a wonderful observatory. The entire roof rolls back, which allows a view of the night sky or the day sky if they're looking at the sun, of course with a special filter. We'll talk more about the sun in another week. So as you go through the material for this week, the first that you're going to be learning about are the properties of light. And you might have heard something about, well, light could be a particle or a wave, and something in Star Trek about photon torpedoes. Those are just bursts of light. And you're going to learn that light comes in a bunch of different varieties that we call wavelengths or frequencies. And you're going to hopefully understand why you need to wear your sunscreen to protect yourself against ultraviolet light. And once you learn about the properties of light, you are then going to apply that to how we gather the light. And how we gather the light is through telescopes. And telescopes come in a variety of different flavors. Some have mirrors, some have lenses, some have combinations of both. And nowadays, most of the major observatories, they don't look through the telescope. It's not a person with eyeball on glass, as we call it. We have very sensitive cameras and detectors that gather the photons, that gather the light from very distant dim objects, and then analyze it. Sort of like Photoshop, but scientific Photoshop. And from all those photons that we gather from these distant objects, we can actually figure out how they behave and what they're made out of. And we don't just look at them in the visible light that you see with your eyes. We look at them across what we call the electromagnetic spectrum. We look at objects in X-ray, in ultraviolet, in radio, in microwave, in infrared, and put all that information together and try to figure out just what's going on up there. So as you start thinking about the properties of light and how astronomers use light to uncover what we know about the universe at large, you're going to be dealing with some concepts that might be a little bit difficult to you. Some people find what's called quantum mechanics very difficult. Quantum mechanics is the study of the very small, and atoms are very small, and electrons as parts of atoms are even smaller. And it's the way that the atoms interact with light that gives us this really important information, what we call spectroscopy. So please have fun with this unit. And again, if you have any questions, please let me know.